They say everything happens for a reason, and in Hollywood, sometimes a twist of fate, like one actor dropping out, opens the door for another to step in and make history. Emma Stone took home a Best Actress Oscar for her role as Amelia Mia Dolan in La La Land. By doing this, she joined the likes of Barbra Streisand, Julie Andrews, and Louise Reiner in the small group of women to win Academy Awards for musical movie roles. Though she hadn't won an Oscar yet, Stone was already a bona fide movie star by that point in her career. Even so, she wasn't actually set to star across Ryan Gosling and La La Land. In fact, neither of them were supposed to be in the movie. Instead, director Damien Chazelle originally intended to reunite with his Whiplash star, Miles Teller, for the musical, with Emma Watson starring as Mia. Chazelle and Watson have both been very open about this alternate casting, which eventually fell apart for a few reasons. Probably the most significant of those was the fact that Watson decided to star in the 2017 Beauty and the Beast remake. Director Brady Corbett has been very clear that getting The Brutalist off the ground was a monumental effort. But all that turmoil must have been worth it, as The Brutalist was a critical and financial success and secured leading man Adrian Brody his second Best Actor win for his role as Hungarian immigrant and architect Laszlo Toth. This victory made Brody one of only a handful of male performers to win multiple acting Oscars, and effectively resurrected his career in the mainstream. While he'd spent years collaborating with Wes Anderson and headlining more humble cinematic efforts, the funny thing is, he wasn't even supposed to be in it. Back in late 2020, the original plan was to shoot The Brutalist in 2021 with an entirely different main cast. Joel Edgerton was slated to play Toes, which we can safely say would have changed the vibe of the movie. Even just physically, Edgerton has a much more pronounced presence on screen. It took Steven Spielberg well over a decade to bring Lincoln to the big screen. While he was one of the biggest directors in the world at the time, it was still tough to get financing for an adult drama in an industry dominated by major studios. Throughout the years he spent trying to get it made, Spielberg's choice for leading man was always Liam Neeson. Neeson and Spielberg had previously worked together on Schindler's List in the early 90s, and they started talking about Neeson playing Lincoln back in 2005. For his part, Neeson remained committed to the project for the next 5 years and publicly spoke about the work he was doing to prepare for the part. But in 2010, he suddenly dropped out. Age may have been a factor, since by that point, Neeson was already older than Lincoln was when he was assassinated. You do understand that I myself am not a child. But the way he tells it to GQ, Neeson just realized he wasn't right for the role when he sat for a table read of the script. By that point, Lincoln had financing and was already gearing up for principal photography. Like a lot of the films on this list, The Fighter had a tormented production. The story of boxer Mickey Ward went through several directors and leading men before Mark Wahlberg stepped in and became the project's biggest cheerleader. But even once Wahlberg was secured, casting his brother Dickie Eklund was a whole other can of worms. Matt Damon was originally in talks for the role. Then Brad Pitt replaced him due to Damon's packed schedule at the time, after spending the 2000s as a leading man in films like Inglourious Basterds and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. When Training Day was still in the earliest stages of production in the late 1990s, neither Denzel Washington nor Ethan Hawke were connected to the project. Instead, Samuel L. Jackson and Matt Damon were set to star as the leading duo. It's definitely not a stretch to imagine Jackson as a morally complex, loose cannon cop like Detective Alonzo Harris, and Damon certainly played his share of wide-eyed young bucks around then. Eventually, though, Training Day secured a new leading man in the form of Denzel Washington. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for future updates.